Good afternoon, YouTube. Hope everybody's hanging in there. It's been a minute for me. I think I posted a video in over a week. But I saw a video today that perked my interest, so I decided I must comment on this. And that is this police officer who confronted a civilian, or I should say citizen, or I should say a free man, I guess would be a better way to say it, in his own driveway. I'll put the link below for you to go check it out. And I'm not going to get into procedure and legal and police fearing for their life, which they obviously are at every moment, because there's always an excuse, no matter what the situation, that I was fearful for my life, so I shot him. And that's the current state we're living in, a police state. And but one particular thing, so I guess this will be a message to police. I'm not talking to my normal audience, I guess, except for the few that might be a part of the police or law enforcement if they are so inclined. But hopefully there's more sheriffs out there. But this guy confronts his man in his yard, or not yard, driveway, whatever. It's a subdivision. Again, you can see it in the link below. And he says, "What are you, some kind of constitutionalist or something?" And what's the problem if I am? Why don't you just ask the guy if he's an MS-13 or the Crips or what's that other Asian gang? Daggone. I mean, the Russian mob. Just ask him any other number of questions. Because that's obviously what you're implying, is that a constitutionalist is an illegal group conducting subversive activities. Which I guess is true. Because we're operating in a post-constitutional government. And your law enforcement, quote unquote, is to protect the government, not the people and not the property of those people. Don't fool yourself. So to all you out there getting the training to deal with constitutionalists, sovereign citizens, and a number of other, who knows what kind of names. Now, why don't just call me Patrick Henry while you're at it? Because he essentially didn't even agree with the original Constitution. But yeah, it goes back to, we wonder why people have lost faith in their police forces and their sheriffs, because this is the way they get treated. You assert your right as a free man, and you are a subversive agent. You're an enemy of the state, which the state is supposed to be of the people, but it's not. And if you're just a regular old policeman, you are a corporate enforcer. And there's only a handful of sheriffs that aren't in that role as well. But traditionally and by definition, a sheriff is not a corporate enforcer. But many of them have fallen into that role. But you're getting all these briefings on sovereign citizens and constitutionalists, and then you use the term without even knowing what it means. You use it in derogatory ways, and it's quite frankly starting to piss people off. And I guess I'm one of them. This is what's going to cause things to happen. And the guy gets out of if you get out of a vehicle in front of a guy's house with no crime being committed, without being called upon, you're being provocative. You are starting an altercation. You started it. Used to be the days where a police officer was called to respond. Nowadays they instigate. And the reckoning's coming. Oh, a couple of Blackhawks. I'm pretty sure they're not here for me, but I guess we'll see it live if they are. Flying pretty low. this area. But heading towards Fallon as usual. Probably staying low to keep out the turbulence from the clouds. I'm not going to go all conspiracy on you. It's probably not Jade Helm, but it could be. But back to our constables, sheriffs. You're being brainwashed. You're being trained to hate the people. Many of you grew up in the police force for 20 years and seen the change and are disturbed by it. And I guess even some more of you are quite comfortable with it because it gives you more power. Your pay's increased. I mean, you look at this cop in this video, probably towards the end of his career, in this, what looks like a very nice suburban neighborhood, probably a feeder community into one of the large cities where all the people that don't want to be involved with inner city collapse have tried to escape to over the decades. And you got nothing better to do but go out and confront somebody in their yard. And there's some audio in the video where the man confronts the police officer, says, "You know who I am," this, that, and the other thing. Maybe there's a history. It's irrelevant. Were you called to be there? Is there a crime in progress? If not, leave. So I don't know. I just want to show everybody that video. And you police types definitely need to change your ways, change your profession, or leave the country, or deal with the reckoning. Because this can't continue. And I've said it many times. The worse this economy gets, the worse this type of stuff is going to get. It's like every time, you know, used to be a officer would serve the community, know everybody in the community. Now an officer goes out and thinks they dominate and they own the territory, the patrol area that they're in. And they're harassing people who've done no wrong, have been reported to do no wrong. And then to throw out derogatory terms, or terms that you consider derogatory, and many more of us will embrace it, like constitutional and sovereign citizen. Maybe you should just once look that term up and understand what it really means. Because if you're not sovereign, you are not free. It means you get your rights from somewhere else. Now, have people used that term and committed violence for no reason? Yeah, sure they have. That doesn't give you a right to go after people who use that term and mean it and live it as a free person. But that's what you're doing. You're subjecting people to the will of the king and the corporatism. Because it's not even one, that's the whole mind fuck they got everybody in. But we don't have a king, so it's okay. You know, we have a Congress, we have all this. We have a corporatocracy. They control it all. And that's who they're working for. It's just not one power figure, so that you can focus on and focus your propaganda on and focus your information on to get everybody to fight against it. I think I might take a break here. It's very discerning to see something like that. Especially when, you know, nothing done wrong and the guy gets in and drives off. So all he was doing was provoking. All he wanted to do was start a fight. You know, you don't patrol an area, even in combat, and get out unless you're going to be friendly to people or you're looking to start a fight. If you know there's a bad guy in the area, you're looking to start a fight. Somebody you consider to be a bad guy, you're getting out and looking to start a fight. And why would you do that? Why would you risk yourself and others, probably that will respond, for no other reason than just to push your power? Because that's all it was, trying to display of power and force. And that's gonna, I mean, what else is gonna cause problems if that doesn't do it? Make all the excuses you want about the streets are unsafe, you may never go home. I really don't have the room for the excuse, because you're operating outside the scope of your perceived authority and your given authority that may exist. But basically, you're supposed to act within the responsibility of protecting the people, and you people aren't doing it. So the supposed 90% of the good cops, this is what you better stop. And I said supposed because that's what everybody seems to say. There's only the bad apples, but the bad apples never get turned in. They never get reported. They never get put under the prison, basically, except for very, very remote circumstances. And the people are very wary. And anybody under 40, I don't think, has a lick of trust for police. Those under 60 are very quickly like choosing sides. So it's only the elderly and the children that you have any what type of sway, and the children that are being taught right are taught trust, don't trust, I should say, don't trust, then confirm. Only if you have to. You don't call police unless you have to. You don't teach your kids nowadays to be, the police aren't friendly to them, why should they be friendly back? Especially in places where there's daily altercations. You know, police comes to my front door, my kids aren't opening the door for them. They're going to ask them to go away and get a warrant, or wait a second while they call somebody else. Because there's just too much, there's nothing worth trusting there. The badge is a lot of emptiness. So, I don't know, people, if this message gets to the people it's intended, you better take it to heart and make some changes. Because while you may not see it as anything other than police in your area, it is going to cause conflict. And that's really what the controllers want. They want people fighting amongst themselves, because you're policing these areas that are your neighbors. They're supposed to be your friends. And they're supposed to be somebody that have given you a responsibility to protect them, and you're not. You're looking out for a fight to protect a government that is outside of scale and scope, and you just don't see it yet. So, I don't know, everybody that hang in this long, it's been a little bit long here. Maybe I'll edit it up a little bit. But get out there, live free, and make them fire the first shot, I guess, because that's what they want to do apparently. Live free.